Hello and happy Sunday evening to everybody. Welcome to Doing It with DeWitt here on a wonderful Sunday evening in the wonderful fine city of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I see there's a bunch of people on to begin with. Printer Prawn, you're the first. Yes, welcome, Brendan Wilson. Eclogites, I think I said that right. I think I did last week. Astro Printer, Liam, thanks. This place attracts the best of crowds. It does. Andrew Osman, David Wilson, welcome. 3D Printing Newbie Milan, hello. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. You don't want me to get hurt. You don't want me to miss. And I like that. It's like we don't want to see Tim get hurt, but we want to be there just in case he does. You know, I like that. Last week's cut is healing just fine. Yeah, got a little infected, but it's healing fine now. So yeah, we're recovering from last week. So reverted to an hourglass. Hey, Autodrop 3D Mike, how are you? Joe Velasco, hello. Brent Miller, hello. Tempest Mirandai, hello there. And we have Dominic Forsetto. We have Non-Fam. Hey, Non-Fam, you've been away for a week or two or so, haven't you? I don't recall seeing you last week, but you were probably here and I just didn't notice. But Dwayne King is here and Derek Cirillo is here. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in tonight. So we got a good show, hopefully tonight. Hopefully a good live stream, hopefully with no blood. I know how much you guys like my blood, but it's not necessarily going to happen tonight. Let me make sure that everything is going okay on the YouTubes. We are not doing the Twitches tonight. We're sticking to the YouTubes because I want to. And the reason I do that is, thanks, Printer Prawn. Yeah, smash that like button. And down here, if you haven't subscribed to me, right down here, hit that subscribe button and the bell will notify you when I go live down here somewhere. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to my channel, guys. So I appreciate all of you guys that are subscribed and everybody that's here. So tonight we are going to work on, I think this is a nice view of it right here. We're going to work on this Ender 3 V2 that's sitting right here. We're going to put a Revo hot end on it. But last week I had stripped off the old plastic extruder, feeder extruder. I call it a feeder. Most people know it as an extruder, but that's an open thing. And so I thought I had a dual gear one. I don't. I only have these single gear ones left that have that with a little wheel, which is fine. I have a bunch of those, but the upgrade on this, in a sense, then is that it's metal versus the plastic one. So this will do for now till I get more of the dual gear ones in. So that'll be fine. So we're going to put that on. We've got the Revo Micro, which we're going to put on. I want to thank Brian Vines, BV3D, for inspiring me to do this. Brian put a video out last week, I believe, or the week before last. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He did a great video on putting the Revo on the Ender 3 V2. Inspired me. I said, yeah, why not? I've got a Revo. Let's do it. So that's kind of what this is about. I started it last week, and we're going to finish it this week. Last week I couldn't find the Revo, but that's a whole other story. I've told a few people the story behind that, but that's a whole other embarrassing story. Anyways, that's what we're going to do. And so check out Brian Vine's video as well. He does a great walkthrough on this. He doesn't do his live. His are edited videos, but they're good. They're very, very good. One of my favorite channels out there. So anyways, I'm going to continue. I'm just going to quickly get right into it because we have a few things to do tonight. And tag me on the chat if you want a specific question answered or ask a specific question. Tag me on the chat so I can kind of see it because I'm going to work and look back and forth at the chat. As a matter of fact, I think what I'll do is I'm going to take my YouTube and I'm going to pop out the chat on YouTube. Boom. I'm going to move it over to a second screen here and make it massively big. Okay, maybe not that big. I'm going to make the chat a little bigger in the window over here so that actually I have that oops, I didn't want to make it that big windows. I hate when you drag it up and it automatically resizes the window for you. So I have chat right here and I have chat right here. So I can keep an eye. There we are. I can chat here and chat here so I can keep an eye on both chats if anybody has questions. So you love your Ender 3V2. Hasn't stopped printing since November 2021 except maintenance. That's great. Yeah, it's a great print. It's an awesome print. I have dad jokes too. I'll try and think of some tonight. Rex Waldy, hello, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. Okay, so I'm going to revert to this camera view here. I'm going to zoom out a bit because that's a really, really close zoomed in view. And I know it's going to get better focus right there. There we go. And I'm just going to finish quickly putting this. Actually, this might be a better view here for you guys. If I do this, there we go. I'm just going to quickly finish putting this feeder together. And then we can get on to putting the mount in for the Revo. So let's just screw this guy in. Jason, hey, how are you, Jason? Okay, so we're going to screw that guy in. Do I have a wrench? I don't really have a wrench handy, so I'm just going to do the old everything works for everything tool and just give that a snug up with that. And then last thing I have to do is put on, I started building this a little earlier today because really everybody's seen these things built. It's not a big secret how to do them. They're pretty simple. It's the most simple feeder you're going to find out there. So let's get that down there. Let's get the spring in here. Boop. Guess I should have put the spring on first. Yeah, my hand, my big fingers, my fat fingers are right in the way, I know. And let's get the spring on this right like that. And then we will compress the spring so we can get this screw started. There we go. And then I will grab my appropriate tightening tool. And there we go. We'll just screw this one in. Snug it up. There we go. We have our feeder basically all set to go. Interesting thing though, the coupler here, the feeder packages, I have a bunch of them. Like I have, let's see, I wonder if any of these do. But if I open this up, I have a few more. Like here's like, for instance, there's 4 more of those particular type of feeders, and none of them that I can see come with a little clip to keep that coupler down. None of them come with that little clip. So fortunately, I am a hoarder and I keep all these little clips from spare things and all that. So yeah, so I will get that after though. So here we have our, let's go back to this close up. Right here we have our completed feeder. Okay. I'm going to take you to, I'm going to be jumping around cameras on and off just because. So here we go. Oh, I forgot that was there. This is cool. I've got to show you this. This was because I'm going to be printing parts for a new printer I'm going to be building soon. I wanted to, and the parts are going to all be ABS. Hey, Paul Cumber, I've been great. Thank you. Had a great week. As the parts are all going to be ABS, I decided it was time to blow the dust off and fire up the FlashForge Creator 3, which is the only enclosed printer I have, and do a test print. But that's an interesting, which camera am I on? I'm on this camera. That's an interesting test print. So the thing about the FlashForge Creator 3, it's a IDEX printer. And when it prints two colors, it asks you, do you want to put a shell around your print? And that's kind of like their purge tower for the colors. So I enclosed with a raft and a shell. So it's like almost like a surprise to open it up. Let's open it up with me just because. And then we'll get back to this. But so that pops open nicely. And then the print should just fall out of the shell. Can anybody tell what this print is going to be for bonus points? Or I'll give you a bottom look at it. If it'll focus, there's the bottom look at it. There's the top look at it. And there's a side view. What is it going to be? Easy to tell. Mind you, I know what it is. You replace your Creality tutor with a Titan. You highly recommend it. Yeah, I could do that eventually. Oh, Jason, you're right on there. But which one? It is Pikachu. Oh, that turned out nice. The shell looks terrible. Oh, there's a little bit of red filament in there, but look at that. Oh, I got to clean up a bit of the red. I don't know why that. A little bit of stray red filament, but there's my two-color Pikachu. That might have been my fault in the slicer. It looks like it's just a bit of drooling filament, but I can probably clean all that up. But yeah, look at that. Nice two-color Pikachu done in the FlashForge Creator 3 IDEX. Cool. Okay, so there's Pikachu. He's out of the way. Bye, Pikachu. You can sit over here and watch the rest of the stream. And then there's his casing. He just ended up, so now I have an empty case for Pikachu. So it's pretty cool. And that's a whole lot less waste material than when you do, say, a pallet with the purge tower. Because that's a very thin shell that it puts around it just to purge the nozzles real quick before it starts the color. So anyways, cool. Oh, and that just looks like somebody's giving you the finger. Bottom part, look at that. Hang on. I can focus. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, whatever. I digress. I'm going to put that away. Let's get moving on to the under 3 here. So I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to turn this around. I have basically, last week we stripped down the hot end. So this week we're going to take that stripped down hot end and we're going to put some stuff on it. And if I switch to this camera here, you'll get a much better view of it if I zoom you in. Whoa, look at that. My eyes, they all say. There we go. And let's just, right about there is good. So I printed last week, and you saw me cut myself on it. And when I cut myself, it was because I had one of the parts printed. So this is the one mount printed in PCTG. And I was showing you guys how tough this stuff was by trying to break it. And it was so tough that I had to take the pliers to it to break it. And inevitably I broke it, but I also cut my finger. So that was last week's blood. So I reprinted this piece, came out perfectly. And then there's the fan shroud that's going to go on here as well. So just like that. And how do you spell it? Post-battle Pikachu. Yeah, exactly. He's got some blood on him. So I need to grab some hot end screws from last week. So I'm going to pull out. Let me pull out. Come on. I got stuff. Let me pull out my tray of spare parts, I call it. My tray of spare parts. Because a lot of the mounts that came off of the, a lot of the screws that came off of the Ender 3V2, the original hot end mount, are going to be used to mount these back in, except for that one screw that I just dropped. I hate when I do that. And that was a critical screw. Do I have a spare one? Oh, tell me there's another one of those. There is. Oh no, that's the one, and I need 2 of those. I think I just dropped it. Ugh. Well, I'm going to have to MacGyver it then. We will MacGyver it. I need the screws to fit in this, and that's going to work. That'll probably be fine. That's about the right length. May not look the prettiest, but it should work. But I'd rather have the proper one. Oh, Timothy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go look on the floor. Hey, Ben. Oh. Oh, I found another screw I dropped. Not the one. Aha. Found it. That was quick. I found it. Okay, so we start. And again, I watched Brian Vine's video doing this, so I think I'm pretty good at this. But you guys can always watch his. He does his. But anyway, so we fit this in. We've got 2 little indents on the side of this. They fit over the old mount where the hot end went. And then we find the appropriate size hex key, which I believe is this one. No, and it's got to be this one. Yes. And this just screws in right where the hot end mount screwed in. I'm going to give you a better view here. Hang on. Wrong one. This one. Is that the right one? That's not the right view. Where's close up? There we go. This is the one I wanted to give you. So basically what I'm doing here, that is so bright. Wow. That's very bright. Does the light? No, that doesn't help. It's almost too bright. Anyways. That screws in here. Okay, just like so. Come on, I'm not happy with how this camera, for some reason, this camera is very sensitive to light. Probably, let me do something here real quick, guys. I just want you guys to be able to see this really well. Magnetic desk, that's what I need. Did I burn the back of my hand on the hot end? Where? Oh, this. You mean that there? No, didn't burn it. That's a I don't know, birthmark, whatever you want to call it. No burns happening there. I've got to really quickly see if I can't get this camera, give you guys a little better view of what I'm doing here. There we are. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Much better. Yeah, this is a much better one. Okay, there we go. So basically we screwed that in where the hot end went, and then we're going to screw the other side in. And yeah, my hand will be in the way a bit here because the camera's right there. But that's okay. Still be able to see kind of what I'm doing here. I hold this up like this. Dun, da, 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 da. Whole lot of screwing going on. There we go. So that's nice and solidly mounted there. Hey, Dougal, how are ya? Okay, good. And now, from here, we're going to throw the other mount on, which is for the fan. Okay, so this guy here is going to go right against this one and right there. That's kind of a tight fit, but that is right where that goes. Although, yeah, that should be right. Why does that one hole seem not to line up? That should go right in there with the original screw that came out of there. So I believe that was this one. Looking through my little screw parts here. Make sure I've got the right one, and that looks like the right one. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, like and subscribe, everybody. Pouring my heart out here. Pouring my heart out for y'all. This here, and I think I just got to kind of force this into the threads on this. Then this fits in here like so. And now that is not, I think this is missing a hole, because I am supposed to come from behind and screw in, self-tapped into a hole right there. This hole is not lined up properly. I wonder, I may end up having to drill a little hole. If I recall watching Mr. Vine's video, he had another hole right up here. And unless I downloaded a wrong model. So let's just, let's rectify that. I'm not one to shy away from fixing on the fly. And again, that's what live is all about. So we're going to pull out the drill. And we're going to pull out the drill bits. I still have that really handy drill bit case that I've been using all along right here. As y'all see, nicely 3D printed drill bit case. Hey, Scott Lemke, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So let's pull out my tiniest drill bit, which is probably this guy right here. I think this is a 3mm. Let's see if I can't just... Oh, make sure you take your finger off. See if I can't just drill this on the fly. Drill this on the go. So just going to turn this around slightly, sideways. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from behind, and I'm going to... There we go. Drill a little hole right there. There, look at that. Let's clean that up a bit. Notice I didn't put my finger in front here and then drill and come through and drill through my finger. Yes, I've done that before. Inadvertently, of course. Front of that looks... There we go. Nice and clean. Okay, drill away. If you don't print it right, fix it. And then, let's see, I think I could use... Hey, Mark Flanagan, how are you? And 3D Experiments, hello. Thank you, everybody who's here. Appreciate it. Okay, now I'm going to find, I think, an M3. Doesn't have to be a long M3, a short M3. What do I have here? Or maybe even this one. Let's see if this will fit. This is a little baby M3, I think. Not a little too big. Hole's too big for that. So, maybe I should have drilled a smaller hole. But hey, smaller holes are overrated. Let's see if this will... It might be a bit long. It's too big, and... Okay, so what we do in a case like this, and I don't think it'll interfere with the fan. So what we do in a case like this is we take a little nut. No comments about little nuts. There we go. So we're just going to compromise. I'm going to go through and put a little nut on this. I know my hands are in the way. Come on, little nut. I know you can do it. There we go. Okay. So I'll put a little nut on there. There we go. So there, I'll just put a little nut on there and put it in. Don't think that'll be in the way of anything. What about comments about little holes and coming from... Drop another screw, you dare me. Hey, the night is young. Will this little clip fit on here? Oh, look at that. We even have a clip for the Bowden coupler here. Okay, cool. Okay, back to our regular scheduled view. Can I focus this? Is it dark enough? Let's see. There we go. A regular scheduled view. So we have the fan mount, hot end mount. So let's pull out the Revo. Okay. You guys. So this is the Revo I got. I've got a couple spare nozzles, but those are beta nozzles, but they will fit this one, so not a big deal. And underneath here we have the 5-volt converter because the Revo fan runs on 5 volts. So this takes the 24 volts from the power supply, converts it down to 5 volts. We have that looks like a thermistor cable or a heater cable. I don't know which one is which. Oh no, this is the thermistor cable. That's the heater cable. And then we have like a fan extension cable. So there we go. And we have a piece of Bowden tube, which I don't really need for this particular build. Or I may need it. Yeah, I may need it to go in there. No, I won't need it. No, I won't. What am I talking about? Okay, so first thing we do, we'll pop the fan off of it. Don't drop it and break it. Let's pop the fan off the Revo, and we're going to take the nozzle off. First time I'm going to be using one of these. Nozzle off, the hot end cartridge, etc. come off, and then we're going to take that little screw thing on top off. I'm also going to pop off this little blue retainer off there. I don't want to lose that little retainer. Oh, I got lots of retainers in here. Okay, cool. So now we're going to switch to this guy again. So the Revo, the heat sink is just going to come up here. And the heat sink is going to screw up into here. No, I'm using a Revo Mini. A Revo Micro. This one right here. Let me show you. Revo Micro. It's 24 volt. The CR is a direct plug-in replacement. Absolutely. But this is more challenging. So we're going to get this in and we're going to tighten this in by hand. Nice and snug right in there. Okay. You don't even have to put the retaining thing on there, although it would probably, yeah, it'll go, but you won't be able to put your retaining clip in here. So that just stays in there just like that. We don't use the other top part. Then we come on and so because we're going to feed the wires sort of to the back and up, I don't want to feed the wires this way. So I'm going to come on and I'm going to kind of, or sort of, get the wires kind of, this is the one thing you got to know is how you want to feed your wires. And I think sort of like that's going to be fine. So the wires come straight up. Then we're going to put the nozzle in. Without stripping the threads. There, we just got to make sure it's all nice and straight in here. There we go. And we're just, let's move this up a little higher. We're just going to screw the nozzle in. All comments about little nuts are small wrong. Only fan side. There we go. So we have the Revo nozzle screwed in. We have the fan. Looks like it's blowing in the right spot. We have the wires coming up, and it looks good. So then we're going to take the original fan, which I've actually, I've cut the wires on it, so we're going to have to splice the wires in here, which is not a big deal. But first thing we're going to do now, well, first of all, I'm going to cut off these two fans because we're not using them. So let me get my side cutters. Here we go. So we're going to totally replace these wires. Actually, I'll leave the wires hooked up to the fan because we're just going to pull them through. We're going to pull through the thermistor wire and the fan wires. The only wire that's going to stay in place is going to be the wire for the parts cooling fan, which is this one. So I'm actually going to, I spliced that wire anyways right here. So I'm just going to cut this off. So that was the part cooling fan. Those wires will stay. That's the blue and yellow one here. And the rest of the wires are going to be replaced. So I'm going to learn my lesson with this one, and I'm actually going to pull wires through together kind of thing. So that's the original blue and yellow ones that went to this. So I'm going to have to splice these part cooling fan wires. Oops, I'm right out of screen. I have to splice these part cooling fan wires together. I'm going to back this up because we're going to be doing some underneath the printer stuff right now. So just going to back that up and give you guys a bit of focus here. There we go. Okay. I don't know. I don't know about the difference in flow rate between micro and regular, honestly. Heats of sparks for lighting. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so part cooling fan we'll set aside. Got the Revo fan we'll set aside, which is the hot end fan. Now we got to get in underneath. So I'm just going to, so I don't break anything, take my display off temporarily. And we're going to get in underneath and replace some wires. So let's tip her up. Now have I done this screw on top? No. So there's one screw on top I got to undo, which I believe is this one. There we go. To get in underneath. Okay, there's one. Now we're going to turn it over here. Oh, I got to be careful. I got the Prusa running right next to me, so there we go. Oh, actually, over this way. And I'll lower this down a little bit so you guys, and then I'll zoom in when I get to the actual fudging the wires. I'll zoom in so you guys can see what's going on. But we're going to take the case off now. Need the sparks for lighting. I know. You're so right, Kieran. And hello, Kieran. I didn't see you sneak in here. There we go. And of course, there's a fan built into this cover, so just be careful when we pull it off. There is a fan right here. And the first thing I will do, I want to prop this up. I want to put, here, let's put this failed print right here underneath here. There we go. Failed print right there is a prop up. We're going to unplug the fan, remembering where it goes, which is right there. So we can put the cover aside. Now, yes, now I'm going to try and zoom in a bit so you guys can see what I am doing. Neener. Okay, so get ready to be zoomed. Oh, I can get you guys nice and close, but can't guarantee my fingers won't get in the way. There we go. And we can get lighter. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to snip the zip tie off these wires without snipping the wires. There we go. Okay. Let's get this display cable out of the way. Let's get the wires out of here. So we need, and I'm going to undo the zip ties that go right up to the top here, because I need to, of course, reroute some wires. So I'm going to undo this one over here just to free up this cable loom. Free this one here, and we'll get them all zipped in after. Okay, so there we go. So the ones we want to undo in amongst this mess, the white one over on the end here. Okay, actually you can't see it. The camera's not quite there. You can't quite see it. But this cable right here plugs in on the end. That's a thermostat. So we're going to unplug that and replace it. We're going to attempt to unplug it and replace it. Is that hot glued in? I'll bet that's hot glued in. Let me just see if I can. They got a strip of hot glue right across the top of all these things. Hey, tripod. Yeah, it's hot glued in right across the top of all these things, which I can understand to a point why they do it, but it's a pain in the arse. Okay. To get it off. I guess they were never intended for people to do their own modifications. There we go. Getting rid of the glue. And come on. Man, they put that on thick. Thick, thick, thick. Holy crap. Man, they put that glue in there thick. I know I already said that. There. Oh, look at that. Look at that hunk of glue. Wow. Okay. That should free my thermistor cable. Yay. Wow. Craziness. Fortunately, that's the only one I have to pop off of their thermistor. Then we're going to take, I'm going to grab my flat screwdriver, my little screwdriver kit out here. This little kit here, nice little set. We're going to remove the hot end wires. So for the thermistor and the hot end wires, polarity doesn't matter. Okay, there's the hot end wires out. Thermistor is out. There we go. I'm going to pull them through, but I'm going to strategically do it so I don't have to screw things up. And then this one here is going to be the hot end fan, or the hot end fan. And with those ones, polarity does matter. So I'm going to remember that the right-hand wire is positive, left-hand wire is negative, although it is imprinted on the board if I need to remind myself. But right is positive, left is negative. There we go. Out and out. Okay, so those are the wires we got to unhook. Okay, I'm going to get that untangled from the red one. Red and blue are my part cooling fan, which are going to stay. So now I want all these wires to come out. Okay. I'm just going to shorten these ones here. Thermistor, I'm just going to cut that off so it doesn't impede coming out. And I'm just going to shorten these fan wires here. I'm going to take this bundle and I'm going to attempt to pull through the rest of these wires at the same time I pull these wires out. Let's see how this is going to work for me, because I don't want to have to struggle with feeding these wires through my cable loom. So we have our hot end wire here. Actually, let me just let me zoom you out here. Oh, I'm just going to zoom you guys out here a bit so that we can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so then we're going to take the this red one, I believe, is the part cooling fan, or the hot end fan. Yep. Red one's a hot end fan, and this end plugs in at the front. This end plugs in at the front. It's noticed that they've provided ferrules on the hot end fan already. They've got it nice and ferruled up for me. They didn't on the, so because the par cooling fan goes in the board as well, I'm going to cut this and put ferrules on it as well. And then the white one we have is the thermistor fan, the thermistor wire. Hey, Hutch Makerspace. Okay, and this one goes this end. So there's two different ends on this. There's a bigger end which plugs in to the actual Revo up front, and there's a smaller end which goes to the board. So these three wires have got to come through. I'm going to stagger these up like this. I'm going to attach these to this. Let me grab some tape, or zip ties or tape. I think tape. Let me grab some tape. Okay. Some clear packing tape. Hey, Matt. What, Ben? What? What did I do wrong? Okay. Let me just pull this forward a bit. These wires here are all going, let's get that untangled from the yellow one. There we go. What, Ben? What? Don't say guess what, Tim, and then don't say anything. Come on, I need to know. You'll see. What? Don't let me make a mistake. Don't let me make a mistake. Unless, of course, I'm going to hurt myself. And then you guys want to see that. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. Am I missing a wire? I'm going to make sure we have the heater wire, the thermostat, and the hot end fan. That should be all I need to pull through. So let's see if I can tape these together successfully. And messily. Oh, come on. This tape is uber sticky, which is what I want. Okay. Fair enough. I didn't get hurt. Like, Ben's driving me nuts here. He says, guess what, Tim? And he says, you'll see. What'd I do? Now we got somebody thumping on the floor. There we go. Oh, that's nice and packed tight. I should be able to pull all these through. Okay, so let's just get the other end. And Ben, if you tell me after I pull all these through that I'm missing a wire to pull through, I'm going to track you down and strangle you. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's see what happens here. Actually, if I try, maybe I should, this other thick loom thing. There we go. And pull through. Come on. Okay. I'm going to pull these through. I'm going to pull these through. It's going to work. You prefer black tape? Yeah, I just grabbed the first thing I had. And look, we got them through. And we got them all through. Oh, yes, it worked. It worked. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. It worked. Now, I am just going to, for temporary measures, I'm going to zip tie right here on this thing, and that'll just keep the wires and the loom from pulling back through. Now we untape, which is a whole other ball game. I should have just used black electrical tape, I know. But we're just going to very carefully cut the tape off. With the assistance of my mouth. All Creality machines are parts machines. Yeah, I can't argue with that. There we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that didn't take me as long as I thought. Can you imagine trying to feed those through without... I learned my lesson from the last time I had to feed some wires through, so there's my 2 wires and one more wire to bear. There we go. There we go. So there we go. We have the new wires in, and then we're tossing we have a hot end fan. We have a hot end fan and a thermistor cable and a heater cable, which are still good. So we're just gonna coil these up. Coil these up like so. Gave that man a sharp knife. I use those knives every day, and boy, do I ever. Yes, I do cut myself a lot with them. So there we go. We got that all old stuff coiled up. We'll just toss that. I don't know. Let's toss it way over there for now. Always, when you finish using your tape, fold it over, give yourself an end. That way you don't drive yourself nuts looking for the end of the tape. Remember to put the sharp knife back in before you put it in your pocket. I've done that too. If it's doable, I've done it. Okay, now we're going to come to the... let's get some gut stuff going here again. Oh, over here. So, do I want to zoom in a bit? Yeah, I guess I want to zoom in a bit for you guys here again. Okay. And over that way. So this is going to be a tight fit for me because I got big hands. So a thermistor wire is just going to plug in over where the old thermistor came out. It'll just happen to fit perfectly in there. Okay, no problem because the polarity doesn't matter. Hot end wire can go back in where it came from. Hot end wire came pre-ferruled. So now the trick is, and I'm going to try and actually cheat and use some assistance here because I can't get my little fingers, my fat fingers in this little opening here. So I'm just going to clean all the crap off of this thing. Actually, maybe tweezers would be better. Where are my tweezers? Maybe if I use the tweezers. No, tweezers aren't going to hold that tight enough for me. So I'm just going to use this. Come on in with this. And I have to open this up a little more. Now, the ferrule's a bit long. Sometimes I find these just a hair long, so I'm just going to chip the tip off these ferrules. Oh man, that landed. Those things hit the roof. There we go. Let's see if that works better. I don't know if you can see in there with what I'm doing, but too bad if you can't. You get the idea. So we're going to put that one in. And yeah, that fits better. Tighten this one up. Okay. Oh, sure. I missed. Ah, I missed. Oops, I did it again. Okay, let's make sure these are nice and loose. Get in the hole, Farrell. There we go. That sounded like it popped in. And again, so did the first one. There we go. That's in there. I don't know if you can see. It's pretty hard to see from this view. But you guys kind of get the idea. I can get you a little closer. There you go. So basically, first one's in. We'll do the second one. The closer I get you, though, the bigger my hands get in the way. And we'll get that one in right there. Okay, and then we'll tighten this one up. Okay, both of them are in there snug. So now we're just going to get the, we're going to put ferrules on the fan connection for here. So I'm just going to hit me, baby, one more time. And Tim was singing Britney Spears. There we go. Okay, so we're going to snip, dingle, end of the fan. That can go in the garbage. We're going to just grab the ends here. I'm going to just bare the wires. Oh. Why is that dryer alarm on? I always turn that off for my streams. So I'm going to bare this wire. Okay, let's get my ferrule kit out real quick here. Which drawer is my ferrule kit in? Persiva, right here, nice and handy. Anybody who doesn't have one of these and you own a few 3D printers, you need to get one of these nice ferrule kits. Comes with all sorts of ferrules and a ferrule crimper. Sponsored by, no, I'm just kidding. Let's pop it out, and I believe that these are going to be the white ones. I believe. Let's just see. Oh, I can probably get away with the gray ones. Oh yeah, the gray one will be fine. Yep, perfect. And the gray one. Perfect. So let's just quickly, as a man, I do this, even on a live stream as a man. I don't know why I said that, but I like to put things away as I go. Forgot the voltage converter. I did. Okay. I would have found that would have been a shocker when I turned the and I shouldn't have cut the end of that plug off. Oh boy. But you know what? You know what? That's okay. I'm good at soldering wires. Who told me I forgot the voltage converter? Brendan, thank you. Yeah. Okay, just means an extra step, which is okay. But yeah, I would have burnt out my I would have burnt out the fan. as soon as I popped it on. I put the ferrules on the wrong side. You're so right. I wonder if there's any way. No, I really needed that plug. Do I have any of those? No, I'm just gonna solder the wires together. You know what? It's okay. Unless, hang on. If I cut enough of this off. No, let's just do it this way. Let's cut enough of this off. There we go. Okay, yeah, you're right. I kind of skipped a step there, everybody. They got to come off. Here we go. Okay. Jason, stop it. You would wait until I burn the fan out. I've got spare fans though of those ones, so. And I even mentioned the voltage converter. I just got too wound up in myself. That's okay. Hey, that's why my live streams are so fun. But you realize this just gives an opportunity. I hope those pieces aren't landing in my Prusa that's printing a job right now. Here, let me zoom out a bit because you guys are going to want to see what I'm doing here. Possibly, maybe not. Yeah, let's just focus on my tools. Focus on my tools. So I strip these end pieces here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip these ones here too. Okay. Just shows, hey, if you make a mistake, nothing's unfixable. Unless you burn a fan by putting 24 volts into a 5-volt fan. Stop! I gotta go shut that off. That'll drive me nuts. So I keep going until I turn the dryer off. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put sports in that. Okay. Whole other story. Shoot. That might be okay. Another print I got going here. I forgot to put sports on where I should have. So I'm going to... Oi, oi, oi. This means I got to stream a little later tonight is all. To make up for the 10 extra minutes it's going to take me. Rule number 1, never correct him on stream. The entertainment value drops. Thanks, John. Really appreciate that, man. Really. So, yeah, so basically this plug here needs to plug into the voltage converter. Of course, positive to positive, negative to negative. But anyways, so we're just going to do a quick, anytime I get an opportunity to pull out the old soldering iron, what the heck, hey? Let's plug the old soldering iron in. It just means that there's that much more opportunity for me to burn myself. You guys should be happy that I made this mistake. Okay. Dry sponge will never do. Let's just moisten the sponge with some of my drinking water. There we go. Good. Oh, I spilled it. Yeah. Napkins. There we go. Soldering iron on. 360 degrees coming. Little bit of solder. and I know somebody's already out there thinking I'm way ahead of you guys. Just so you know, I am way ahead of you. One of you is thinking right now aloud, he is going to forget to put on his heat shrink tubing. No, I'm not. Where'd I put it? I pulled my package of heat shrink out and put it somewhere. There it is, right here. Heat shrink. And half a piece or so. There we go. Heat shrink. Beat you guys to that one. How many times have you soldered some wires and forgot to put the heat shrink tubing on, huh? Okay, and one more thing. Real quick. Do a quick solder job here. Nobody criticize my soldering because I'm not. Oh, you can. I shouldn't say don't anybody criticize my soldering because I'm not. I don't do a lot of it. Here, I'll even move it over here so you can actually kind of see what I'm, calling soldering. I'm just going to tin these wires. I'm going to attempt to tin them. There we go. And come on, move out of the way, you. You're tinned. You're tinned. And soldering that is dangerous, right? Dangerous. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. 360 degrees in the mouth. There we go. Silence is golden, golden. Especially when it's me not singing silence. There we go. Which one is positive? I am positive that the red one is positive. So let's just now melt these suckers together and call it a repair. Ouch. Where's my solder? Oh, I'm not the best at this, and I'm kind of rushing, so there we go. Oh, that didn't hold. Come on, I'm kind of rushing, and I shouldn't rush because I'm not doing a good job here at all. There we go. That's better. Those ones held together. Come on. I know there's probably an easier way to do this, as Jason would say. Now, do you want to know the easy way, Tim? I think that's just too close. No, not streaming on Twitch. Not for this one. Good enough for the man in blue. At least I got red to red and black to black. At least I didn't mess that up. Soldering gun off, soldering iron off. Let's just nip a little bit of this tip off here. There we go. And there we go. Good. Unplug the soldering iron. Put the helping hand away. Soldering gun back. Quick repair. Heat gun. It's getting hot. Done. Okay. Let's just pretend that never happened, shall we? Okay. Let's get a couple ferrules out. Let's just pretend that never happened, but thank you for pointing it out. I'm off screen, yeah. I'm good now. I'm up in the top right. All I was doing was heating with the heat gun, heating the shrink tubing. Okay, gray ferrule. Maybe white will fit. Let's just see if the white will fit. Yeah, the white will fit. I always say to go with the one that'll fit. It's the smaller. There we go. Good. And we'll put a white ferrule on this one. Good. Okay. Kind of back where we were. Used to get embarrassed by stuff like that, but now it's like, hey, poop happens. It wouldn't be a DeWitt stream if I didn't do crap like that. So there we go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Ferrules away, and heat shrink away. Keep them in the same drawer. It's almost like I make this mistake more than once. So now that we got the ferrules, okay, back to where we were. Zoom in here. There we go. The right one was red. So this outside one is the positive, and the inside one is the negative for the fan. All soldering was behind the top right image. Oh, okay. That's because I don't want anybody to criticize my soldering, because it wasn't supposed to be part of this stream. Let me trim tips of these ferrules off. Oh, they didn't go nearly as far. Okay, and let me ensure, and I'm sorry about that if you guys really wanted to see me solder, but I know that some of you would have just made fun of my soldering skills, because they're not the best. I get by with them, I suppose, but they're not the best. Okay. Okay, let's get the black one in. I'm just doing it like this because my fingers are just a little big to get in here. There we go. Just gonna tighten this up. Oh, see, I missed. Come on. Missed. You missed me. You missed me. Now you gotta kiss me. Okay. Come on. Let's do this right, Timothy. No more missing. Okay, slow down. I'm rushing and I shouldn't be rushing. There's no need to rush. If I have to do another stream, I have to do another stream. That should be in. That feels better. There we go. That made it. That gripped it. And then the positive. And I am positive that that was the positive side. And that one's in. There we go. Now we plug the fan, making sure positive, negative, and the red is positive, black is negative. Plug the fan into the converter. There we go. That's done. Okay. Might want to make my ferrules a little longer. Why? They're fine. They're in there good. I shorten them a bit because sometimes I find that depending on the size of these blocks, the ferrules are a tad long. Anyways, smart ass. No, I appreciate any and all advice you guys give me because I'm not the brightest bulb in the. I'm not the brightest bulb. I'm only playing with. I'm a 60-watt bulb playing with 30 watts up here. So there we go. Oh, I'm going to need to solder a bit more. I just remembered I got to solder this fan onto here. I got to resolder this part cooling fan together because I had taken it apart back when I did the other builds. So, and I don't think I need nearly that length of cable. But better to have too much cable than too little, I always say. Okay, why did I just lose all my plugs here? Hang on, there we are. Oh, there it is. There. Oh, that's that outer case thing. Okay. Okay. So now that we get this done, let's just bring these wires. Oh, you're gonna be. I should never going to be the same. Why is this being a pain in the ARS? Let's see. These wires can come through a little more. Definitely room. That one and this one. There we go. Got the wires pulled through just nicely. Got to make sure that does not unplug. So dry sponge results on the green. Yes. You don't want to solder with a dry sponge. I'm going to throw a zip tie right because I think this is going to this wire going into the converter is going to want to tend to unplug. So I'm just going to put a little bit of a zip tie. That'll all fit in there, right in there, so that nothing tends to pull that. And all these wires will fit nice and neatly inside there. Yeah, we're fine. We are fine. There. And I'll put another one right behind it. On here. Zip ties can be our best friends. Still waiting for Ben to see. You'll see. Oh, maybe Ben was talking about the my goof up with the converter, the buck converter. Black wire, I want to pull that a little bit tighter. There we go. Yeah, see that did come off because I pulled it. I'm not meaning to pull this one. Stop. You have to stay on there. You're critical to this part of the process. Okay, And then I'm just going to try and reorganize these wires here a little bit. We got this gap to go through. And we're going to come down with this one and that gap down and behind here. There we go. They never go back in as easy as they came out, do they? Slap some electrical tape on the converters. Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Do I have any electrical tape? I should have electrical tape somewhere. Let's see. Good suggestion. If I have tape, and I should. Yeah, I have electrical tape somewhere. I can't find it, so I'm just going to use a piece of this black Gorilla. It'll hold it. Just a little piece. It's insulated, so there we go. That should be good. Make sure the thermistor stays plugged in. It's not the same style plug that came out, so that's why, but it's just a 2-pin plug. There we go. Now, I need to get these wires organized. Stay up there. Stay up out of the way. You're just a pain in the arse, you. Wow, some people have dropped. Most of you guys are staying on. I appreciate it. For the ones that have dropped off, where are the heck? Why are those all spilled out? All my zip ties are spilled in my drawer. Okay, that's too big. Jeez, Timothy. There's the ones I'm looking for. My drawers will start out neat and then they become a freaking mess. That cover's never going to go back on the same way. Maybe it will. I don't know. We'll see. And that goes on this way down. Get in there. Why will you not stay in there? Still here. Oh, cool. Some are sitting in the back eating popcorn. I know some of you are waiting for me to do something. I know you're not seeing much here. All I'm doing is now just trying to compress these wires, get this cover back on. But I don't know why they never go back in the same way they come out. Unless you're somebody like Jason and you're very meticulous about it, and you really care about how they look. This one should go in. I don't want to cut any wires though. That should go in and down and left. Okay, come on, get in there. And that one should go in between those things. Those are sharp extrusions. My goodness, they need to dull those up a bit. Why is... There we go. There we go. And under. That should help. And that should be up away from the fan. There we go. Actually got it. Let's get the long screw in first. Geez, that was a task and a half. Feel like I need some music going. There it is. There we go. Got it. I could always sing again. I know you guys loved my singing. Percussive maintenance. Yeah. Better hope I wired it all up right, or all this struggling to get this lid on was for nothing. I'm confident in my wiring abilities, so I think I'm going to be fine. Okay. Okay, so there we have all of this stuff coming up here, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to quickly bring this up. Now I can take this. Move the zip tie back a little. There we go. I'm just doing a little bit of wire management here. Just going to pull this sleeve back a little further until I get everything all wired up, and then I'll worry about getting the sleeve in the right place. Okay, so I've got to, yeah, these are going to be plenty long enough. So I need to join these hot end cooling wires back together. No blue magic smoke. Nope, won't happen. Won't happen. Did I reapply hot glue? No. No need to. There's no moving parts down there. But I honestly believe that the hot glue is put in more so for shipping so that things don't come loose during the shipping of the printer. So I'm pretty sure that's why they put the hot glue, but I don't see the need to reapply it. You'll accept any color smoke, will you, Jason? Okay, no preferences. Okay, well, you get one more opportunity here to see me attempt to burn myself, so I'm just going to quickly solder these wires together. Hey, Chris Mink, you're late to the party. No injuries, no smoke yet. Just a little mistake that was almost made, but it was caught thanks to somebody in chat. But then we had to do a quick repair. So now we're just doing one more quick repair here. And soldering's probably off screen. It is again, isn't it? I know you guys missed it last time, so here I'll give you a treat. Give you something to laugh about. Oh, not that, this. Here, we'll do that. I don't need to be so big in the screen. So there we go. There we go. Come on, get off of there. And we got Barking Dog again. Barking Dog, Hidden Dragon. Hey, Duff. Down to 24 people now. Whoa, my streams are getting slower. I'm not injuring myself as much. I just want to get this done real quick here, so I'm not even doing it's just a fan, and so as long as I get a solder joint, that's all I care about. I'm not going for cosmetics right now. I just want to get her done. As long as I get a nice solid joint, I'm okay with it. As I say, it doesn't have to be pretty. Joint. Don't need to be pretty. Just got to be connected. And not a cold joint. I don't like cold joints. No burn count yet. Nope, not yet. Give it time. A bit early yet. Oh, got a sharp edge here. Just got to trim this off real quick. There we go. No, he hasn't been down yet. He may come down before he goes to bed, apprentice. So we'll see. If Mummy's listening, she can send him down if he wants to come down and see that. There we go. Fan wire fixed. Okay. Oh, I'm sweating here because I'm nervous because I'm making mistakes. But hey. Okay, anyways, I'm fine. I'll be fine. So we're not going to make this pretty to begin with. But so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to zoom you guys in here. So, and it gets a little blurry just because of the way this camera works. But I think that's going to be good right there. Right there. That's not a bad view. So, part cooling fan is going to come around and kind of sit right in. It's a nice snug fit. There we go. Hang on a second. Just going to turn this a bit. There we go. Just like that. That's snug enough fit. I don't even have to actually screw it in. It's just a nice snug fit in there, blowing straight down out these dual blowers here. Okay. And then we have the red part cooling fan. The black is going to be the heater cartridge, which is the red striped one. So that's going to the black. The right way around helps. Okay, and then the white is going to be the thermistor, which goes to the white one on the Revo. Okay, and then we have the red. Where'd I put you? Right here, which is the hot end fan. So we can snap the hot end fan in here. There we go. And then we have the red. Just like so. Okay, all the wires are hooked up. So I will plug in and turn on power to ensure things are going to work. So here's your chance to see smoke. Okay. Okay. Let me put the display back on too. So let me zoom out here. There we go. I know it's a mess of wires right now, but that's okay. We'll clean it up in a second here. It is a cute little fan, 5 volt. Plug the display in. Did I shorten my display cable wire inadvertently? I did. It'll still work. No, it's because I'm trying to plug it in the wrong way. It goes up this way. It's plugged in. I think I shortened it a bit inadvertently, but that's okay. No big deal. Let me put my heat shrink tubing away before I spill it. Okay. We're plugged in. The wires are connected. I'll straighten them out in a minute, but let's turn the power on, okay? Guys, you ready? I thought you do cut the blue wire. And power on. We have a screen. We have a screen. We have a screen. Yay! Okay, so first thing we're going to test is make sure the hot end heats up. So we're going to control temperature, nozzle. Let's go to 210. Let's see if the nozzle is going to heat. We have temperature going 32, 48. I'm going to touch the nozzle. Make sure we are in fact heating up. And temperature is 115, 123. Yep, the nozzle's heating up. Yeah, I got a PID tune that for sure, Liam. So we have nozzle heating up for sure. So we're going to go ahead and cool that down now. Okay, we're going to go back on and turn on the park cooling fan. Make sure it's going to work. 255. Park cooling fan is on. Okay, I can turn that around. You guys can see that. It doesn't matter. It's a little blurry. There we go. Park cooling fan is on. We'll stop that. Now we're going to make sure, and the hot end fan is running. It's nice and quiet actually. So everything's working. We're going to PID tune in a second, so we're going to switch things off for now. I'm going to do a little bit of wire organizing. Okay, so we're going to turn this around kind of this way. Cut this little sleeve retainer off. Now let's come around here and let's just see how we can best organize the wires on this guy. I can probably hide a lot of these plugs within the this shroud doomer thingy. There we go. Yeah, I could have cut this fan one a little bit shorter. Let's go there and let's bring the X up to the top to make sure that we're not shorting ourselves on any wires. Hey, greetings, Mike. Okay, come on. Get out of the way, camera. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I got lots of wire here. I'm not worried about that. There we go. Lots of wire. Okay, so I want to organize these a little bit. So we got a little bit of a we got a little area here that we can actually strap some wires to. So I'm going to feed this through this way. Actually, I'll strap the wires to the front. It's not going to be the prettiest looking right now, but functionality is my main goal right now. Is functionality, making sure this is going to work. So let's see where we at. We may go a little bit later tonight, but we're doing not bad. 7:30, doing not bad at all for a DeWitt stream. So we're going to bring this up in here. I'm going to actually gather. I'm trying to give you guys a view here, but all I'm doing is wire management. There's no magic smoke to this, nothing. I'm just going to try and organize these wires so they're a little bit neater looking. Bring this fan one up, pop that inside here, get it out of the way. There we go. Got to remember the Bowden tube's got to come down in here yet too, so I think that's okay. Again, I'm not looking for pretty right now. I'm just looking to get this done. Okay, yeah, for me, for now, this is good enough for now. And you know, if it prints good and it works, how the wires look is sort of a secondary thing. So not a big deal. So there we go. Yeah, I could have pulled out an access to the bottom of the machine. You are so right. Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's that I can always do. But I'm right now. I'm not rushing, but I want to get this thing. I want to run a print here before the stream ends. So that way you guys can actually see if this actually worked. Okay, so we have that. Now we just have to. Where's my Bowden tube I took out of there? Is right here. And this should be, yep, that's fine right here. So we're going to put you, yeah, the nozzle's cooled off. In here, and the retaining ring is this little guy right here. Perfect. And then let's pull this retaining ring off of this guy. And put the Bowden tube in here. There we go. Lock this in place. There we go. Put a zip tie on here. Oh, that fell off. I think that's a bit big for that one. I need a smaller one. Oh, there's a small one right here. Maybe this will work. Ah, that works better. Okay. And we'll just kind of join these up here. There we go. That's all we need to do. It's actually it's nice and compact and small looking. I'll give it that. That's the beauty of the Revo, right? It replaces that whole big shroud, the fan shroud, and now all we have is this and the little blowers. Of course, we're going to have to re-level here and redo our Z offset. Okay, so now that we have this basically ready to go, we're going to, as Liam said, well, actually firmware. I did a little bit of firmware in advance just to save some time, and I'm glad I did. So, and to basically run over it really quickly. Here we go. To run over the firmware really quickly, need the retractable keychain mod to hold the wires. Yeah, that mod works okay. This is okay. It's not bad. Wiring and yeah, but I've seen that mod and I do like that mod actually. So okay, so firmware, FYI, it was just a matter of, and I'm going to share this screen. So I've never really used and I don't remember what it's called. I've never really used this software before, which is I think called what? I never remember the name of it because it's the first time using it. It was Visual Studio. So Visual Studio. So I just went through, and I'm not going to go through this really. If you want to see how this works, go watch Brian Vine's video on this. He does a really, really excellent tutorial on how to use Visual Studio to modify your firmware. Works really good. So I watched it, learned. I went ahead and I compiled the firmware for this. I had an error at first. If you look at the bottom here, you'll see some red coming up. I was getting a bunch of errors. I didn't know why. So I just redid it and then redid it and tried it again. And it finally came and it gives me a firmware 2022-0327.bin file, which is what we're going to use to flash the firmware. So there we go. So we got the firmware flash, Visual Studio, exactly. And I'm very, very unfamiliar with it. So I went ahead and flashed the firmware. I have the firmware on this little guy here. Now, the only thing I don't have, which I have to go back and see, is the screen files. And I think I got to flash the screen files first. So let me quickly have a look, because this has got the old firmware on it. First compile usually errors because libraries haven't downloaded entirely. Oh, which could make sense, right? It was something to do with a board or something. So that could very well make sense as to why that happened. I never thought of that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly, while you guys are here, I'm going to find the, I need to go back into, what I'm going to do is I'm quickly finding the screen firmware for the display. I need to find that. So I'm just going to go quickly find that. And we're going to go back to this site here, and we're going to go here. Bear with me 2 seconds here, guys. Where did I find it? Right here. And the link is right here. Where did I find it? I had a link somewhere to the Gyres firmware. No. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to find my link that I found to the Gyres firmware here, and I think I just found my link. Here we go. Okay, it's the GitHub link. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to download my default 4.22 board bin. We're going to download that, and I'm just going to get I just want to get the display files is what I need to get here. Let's see. First, usually, there we go. If I'm not mistaken, the Revo CR drop-in for Corelli doesn't require a firmware change. I don't think it does. I think you are correct there. I've got to find a little micro SD card here. These micro SD cards are so micro small. Come on. Come on. Do I have an 8 gigger here? There we go, an 8 gig. I just dropped all my cards. It's just one of those nights. Just one of those nights. Da 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 da. Yada da da. Musical interlude. And it's hot in here. I think I lost a card, but that's okay. I've got plenty of them. There's a micro SD card down there somewhere. That's okay. I'll step on it or roll over it with my chair. Okay. Let me throw the card in. Make sure it's formatted. I'm going to format. You don't need to see this really. 8 gig, FAT32, allocation 4096, and start. I know it'll erase all the data. And format is complete. Okay, so I'm going to quickly, actually, I can actually just, rather than you guys looking at me just doing whatever I'm doing, gravity is strong in it is. It really is. I'm going to, I'll share this screen, not this screen with you guys so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I downloaded the Gyres firmware, downloads, Marlin, the binary file. No, I wanted the display files. Oh, I think the display files. That's the one I just downloaded. Okay, I think the display files I'm going to find in the, oh, come on. Oh, I think I know what I needed to do. I think I did that wrong. I think I needed to go in here, and I think I need the source code to get the display files. Yes, I do. I need the source code. Yeah. Source code zip. Oh, it's just called Marlin. Okay, so I was looking for a file called source code zip. So it's the one I have. I already had that on my desktop. 201 configuration files, Ender 3, default no probe. No, okay, so obviously I want Gyres config. No. Oh, where are my display files? Display firmware. Here we go. Firmware sets. DWin custom, DWin gotcha, DWin set original. That's what I want right there. DWin set original. We'll just uncompress that to my desktop. That has everything in here I need. Yep. I believe. I think that's all I need is a DWin set folder. Okay. And we'll take that DWin set, go to my removable disk D and drag the D-Win set into that I just formatted. And close. Okay. And eject, which I didn't do. Let's go back to here. There's my screen. Phew, lost it. Okay. So we have the D-Win set on here. We'll just quickly unplug this. And we have to quickly remove. So if I do this and I do this, there we go. And focus. So we're just gonna take the case off of this guy. There we go. And we will throw the card. Is this the one? That is the one. Throw that in here. There we go. Okay. Now we will new cam. There we go. Plug the display in. I think I do this one before I do the main firmware. I think somebody told me to do the display first. Come on, plug in. There we go. Make sure I'm not touching any metal to metal. And then we're going to power it on. And hopefully it flashes the display properly. Something didn't work. Something didn't work. No, all I have is gibberish. Okay, power off. Okay, so could be the card. I had an issue with one of these micro SD cards, but then again, when I looked at that file, that D-Win said it didn't look right. Let me look at that again. Let me share this screen again. Did I share the screen? Yeah, I did. Good. Okay. That D-Win set does not look like there's enough in it. So I wonder, let me go back into this, Marlin 2, display firmware sets, D-Win set custom. See, I don't know if these are, The bin file. Yeah, the bin file, this one. That's the only one that needs to be on there? That doesn't even look like it's going to be English. How did I do that before? I'm pretty sure I did the whole D-Win set and it found it. So you're saying basically in here, I'm going to actually use a different card that I know works, because I don't trust all of my cards. I'm going to plug that card in. That was my E drive. I'm going to put that file on the desktop so I don't lose it. There we go. That's my firmware I need to flash. Let me format this. Start. Okay, and then we'll use this card. Format's complete. Good. Close. Okay, we'll go to the E drive, which is empty now. I'm going to try this once more, because I know I did the whole D-Win set before, and it read from there. And if this doesn't work, then I'll try making that the only file. Firmware.bin. No, this isn't the firmware I'm flashing right now. It's a display. What I'm trying to flash right now is a display. first. Maybe I need to do the firmware first. I don't know. But I thought somebody told me once to flash the display first. So we'll try this once more for the display with this new card. Okay, one more time. I think this is the camera that was the better view here. I can't see my screen right now. So let's turn that one on and see what this does. Oh, same thing. Okay. Same thing. And I seem to have difficulty with this last time too, when I did another printer. Okay, undo this. Okay, well, we'll try just the bin file then. No folder is a good idea. Maybe no folder, just the files. Okay, well, let's try that. Okay, let me put the card back in my reader. Okay, so we have DWin set. We have the bin file. Yeah, see, this is every instruction I've read. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let me format this card. I'm going to try flashing the firmware first. Yes, no, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. So let's go to the E. Let's bring the firmware.bin file in here. Okay, and let's eject. Okay. So I'm just going to try the firmware first. Let me put my screen on, since obviously my screen flashing wasn't successful. There we go. And I'm going to try the firmware first. In, on. Okay, let's see what happens here. Nothing. Screen's back to normal. Okay. One more time. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. No, so I'm not going to fall into that trap. Okay, so I'm gonna try that one. I'm gonna try a couple of you suggested, even I guess for the display, just to have the bin file in there, which I've always flashed displays with the DWin set folder. So okay, well, let's format the card one more time, and it is, there we go, and okay. And it's done, and close. Why is there? Okay. Okay, and close. So I'm going to go to the DWin set. I'll take your suggestion. I'll just do the bin file only. See what happens. But I think, or all the files, I'll put them all in, including the bin file, but I won't put the folder. Okay, so we'll do that. Then we'll eject. Okay, let's see what this does. You can't have original on the folder name. Oh. I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I'm glad you stepped in and said that. Okay, cool. So let's do, okay. It's screwing it up because the word original's there, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you're saying rename the file, take original off, dwin set period. We'll bring the dwin set in here. Okay. That rings a very, very loud bell. Yeah. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that rings a bell. I think that is the issue I ran into last time. Okay, good. Thank you for pointing that out. Again, perfect. Once I do this like 6 or 7 or 8 or 900 times, I'll remember that. Okay, let's throw this in. Let's try this. Because it was looking for a dwin set, not a dwin set original. So let's fire it up and see if this works on the display. So we have didn't seem to work. Well, it's the same display, but I haven't updated the firmware. Oh, man. I wonder, okay. That seemed a lot easier last time I updated my other Ender 3 V2 to the Gyros firmware. But yeah, it maybe original. Okay, so probably most people have left because they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and you're right. I don't always know what I'm doing. It's okay. Yeah, we've lost a few people. That's all right. I'd leave too. Perhaps instead of the original, maybe I need, let me go back in and find what the other options were. Display firmware, firmware sets, dwin set custom. Maybe that's what I need is the custom one. Maybe the original one is literally the original Ender 3 V2 firmware display. The custom one is probably the new one, and that's what I should have downloaded. Okay. So let me rename that one to take the word custom out. There we go. Okay. Let's put that on the card instead. E. Copy that over, just dwin set. Eject. There we are. Okay, let's try this one. 20th time's a charm. Still eating your popcorn? Good. I have a barking dog. I have a crouching tiger upstairs, crouching dragon, hidden tiger upstairs. Okay, let's pop this on and see if this makes a difference here. No, that's busted too. So what's going on with this firmware for the display? Unless it's my micro SD cards. I need to get myself, and the thing is, you need the smaller cards. I need to get myself some new micro SD cards, I think, because I think some of these are corrupt. So we're going to try one more time here. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to continue next week. I have to get some new cards or something. So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's a 32 gig. That's a 64 gig. So yeah. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Come on. It's an 8, but I think it's a corrupt 8. So I've got one more 8 here. I'm going to try one more 8 gigabyte card here. 8 gigabytes, FAT32, 4096, allocation unit size start. We'll format this one I found. It's one more 8 gig I have. The other one I'm pretty sure is a bad card. And close. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Okay, we have this. Then we're going to go to the D drive I just did. We'll drag the dwin set in, which is the new one. custom. We'll eject. Come on, right mouse click work. Eject. There we go. Okay, we'll try this one more time with this new 8 gig card, or this different 8 gig card. It's not new. I just don't trust some of these cards. Yeah, I guess I could. Okay. Blue screen. This is good. And then it should go orange. Orange screen. Okay, it was the card. So blue screen and orange screen is a good thing. Okay, and then the orange screen stays. We'll shut down. I know blue screen and then orange screen is good. So yeah, it was a bad card. Gosh. So really, you know what? Those two cards there, gone. Gonzoid. Okay. So let's do the same thing with the same card. Let's format it and put the bin file on here. Let's format the card again. Probably don't need to, but let's just format it. Okay. There we go. Format's complete. Close. Let's open it up. Open the card. We'll put the new bin file for the firmware. There we go. I'll just rename it to be safe. We'll call it firmware.bin. I don't think you need to, but I'm going to just be safe. Firmware.bin. Enter. Done. We're going to go right mouse click. We're going to eject. And we're going to bring the screen back up, and we're going to go ahead like this. We're going to plug this in here. We're going to put the display back on. And we're going to turn the power on. We should have a bit of a delay here. And as the firmware loads, we got boom, boom, we got it. Ender 3v2 ready. It is the new, it looks like it's the new one. It looks like it's good. We have the new screen. It looks good. Okay, I think we're good. So let's put this back together real quick. Power off. Okay. Oof. Okay, so now that is taken care of, when your bed travels on the Ender 2.3.2v1, you hear clicking sound. When it travels, you hear a clicking. Is your belt tension right? That's just really strange. Check your belt tension. For some reason, when I'm working on this, my belt tension tends to come loose on my bed, on my Y, and it makes an awful sound when it tries to move. But that almost sounds like belt tension. And also check and make sure your wheels aren't too tight. Okay. Display. Damn micro SD cards. Can you buy 8 giggers anymore? And if not, I could do that, as you said, is to partition a card with an 8 gig partition on it. Okay. Plug it in and power it up here, and we'll get the PID tune on the hot end. There we go. Let's go back here. There we go. Okay, we have a screen. Hopefully that's the right firmware. That's the firmware I compiled today. So let's go control, temperature, PID, hot end. We'll tune it up to 210, which is where I run most of my stuff. And we'll go auto tune. Okay, we're doing a quick PID tune on the hot end. And I know I got a new extruder, new feeder on here, and I need to do a E-step calibration on that. But just for the sake of wanting to push some plastic through this Revo, I'm going to I'm going to just go ahead and, for the sake of time, do that. Amazon has lots of 8 gig ones. Okay, good. I'll get some 8 gigs. They can't be that expensive. Yeah, they may be too tight. You want to, when you do your eccentric wheels on that, you want to back it off till it's wobbly and loose, and then you just want to tighten it. Just tighten it until it's not loose anymore. You don't want to over tighten those eccentric nuts, because that can cause wear on the wheels, and wear on the wheels can cause bed wobble for sure. And the wheels are cheap if you have to replace them. They're not that bad. Okay. PID tune should be done soon as the hot end's eating up. That's good. That's a cute little fan, I gotta say. Here, you guys don't need to see my mug while we're doing this. I can just let you guys see this. Bruce is printing in the background. I totally screwed those parts up though. That's okay. That's okay. 3 of 5 cycles are completed. Once we do this, I'm just gonna make sure that my Z offset is set correctly on this, that I don't have to check, switch that sensor around. Move that sensor up or down over here, right? This sensor may have to move depending on how close my nozzle comes, but I don't know how much closer to the bed this was. It's exciting. First time putting a Revo on something. Okay, so my hot end PID is done. I've done my bed PID. I'm not going to bother with that because I didn't change anything to do with my bed. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to move. I'm going to home all, but I'm going to keep my on the power switch because I do not want that nozzle, especially my new Revo, running into my bed. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. Thanks for Volcam. I appreciate that. Don't always know what I'm doing, and we're too low. Okay, definitely too low. So I'm going to pop that back on. Right about there is where I want it anyways. Okay, so we're going a little bit too low. So I'm going to lower right there. I'm going to just lower that by hand. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and raise my end stop, my Z end stop here, just until it clicks now. So we're going to move it and then right there, just until it clicks, because that's about the exact height I want that nozzle to be right now on the bed. There we go. And there we go. So now I'm going to heat up. I'm going to preheat. Preheat PLA. Perfect. And that way I'm going to, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to home it again. We're going to home all, and then we're going to level the bed real quick, and we're going to put some plastic in. Where's my leveler? There we go. Although I have a feeling I'm going to be pretty level. Okay, so and the nice thing about this Gyre's firmware is it has, let me find it somewhere. I just have to find it. Manual leveling, bottom left. So it's got a manual leveling feature that's just going to move your nozzle to exactly where you want it to be. So we are a little bit, there we go. So bottom left is good. Go top left. we go. We'll go top right. Oops. Hit the button again. Perfect. We'll go bottom right. Yeah, that self-destruct kit sprinter was something, wasn't it? Okay, and we're going to go back up and go around one more time here real quick. It's always good to go around twice. I find it's usually pretty good for the most part. Perfect. Perfect. And perfect. And if everything holds true, the center of this bed should be a little bit low. Look at that cable's just dragging there. I gotta do something about these. I like the idea of yeah, we're a little bit low, so we like to open that a bit, open that a bit, open that a bit, just to give a bit of drag in the middle. Okay, let's throw some filament in here and we'll see if we can get a print going quick. I'll throw in some Royal Blue Persimmon PLA. Oops. There we go. Okay. What the heck? There we go. Okay. I definitely got to do an E-step calibration because let me just move this head up a bit here first. Z up 50, maybe 50 something. Definitely got to do an E-step calibration because the flow rate on this nozzle is probably going to be different on this hot end. It's probably going to be different than the standard one. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the temperature up to 210. And then we're going to extrude some filament and see what happens here. Okay, just gotta wait till it gets to 210. So let's go ahead and zoom in for the moment of truth here. Right there. And let's watch some filament push out of this nozzle. There we go. Filament coming out. It's a good sign. Sparta 3D Galaxy PLA. Oh, I will. There we go. We got filament coming through. Okay. It's a good sign. So let me grab, while we're watching, you can just watch that and enjoy that. I'm going to quickly grab a file here, slice it up. I happen to have a CHEP calibration cube, which I think is just fine to do. I'm going to do that in Prusa Slicer. Let's go for the Ender 3v2. Discard all my changes. There we go. Let's bring the Chep cube in. Hi, you want to come down and do your thing? Print settings. We're just going to do this really quick. 3, 5, 4, 2. I think everything's going to be fine. 20% infill's fine. Skirt and brim is going to be fine. I just want to check my filament temperatures. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60, and 60. Plater, let's slice it up real quick. And let's export the G code. Cancel. Is it? Okay, give me 1 second. You can do your thing.
You made my Pikachu.
Yeah, I did.
Like
yeah, I know, but it's okay. Come back in a sec. Hang on. Don't go away yet.
It's so cold. Give me my stool back.
And heatsink save and eject. And quick. All I did, guys, was just quickly slice up a file. But we have a special guest here that wants to say a word or two. Come here. Whoops. Oops, that's in the way. There we go. So come here.
Cold.
Come right here.
It's
Here.
cold.
Get up here. Now look right in there and say it.
Hit that like button at the sky. Bye.
There you go. Oh, no, quickly, get off the cold floor. Woohoo! Now, how can you not hit that like button and subscribe when that happened? I'm going to make a DeWitt cube, Jason. Yes, now that I'm a Fusion 360 Pro. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's go back to this. We got some filament that came out. That's fine. I don't know if it's calibrated right for the E-steps, but I don't care right now. We're going to put this in. And let me back up a bit here. Sometimes I wish this was autofocus, but I like the fact that it's not autofocus because I don't like those cameras that just hunt and hunt and hunt. Okay, back, and we're going to print. And we're going to print it. There we go. And it's heating up. It's going to go through its G-code startup thing here, and there we go. Was Maria on? Did Maria make a comment here? Maria, oh, and I just saw Duff, a $6.99 super chat from Duff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Duff. That deserves this.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. That is very much appreciated. Sorry I missed that earlier. Jason, for the DeWitt Cube Design Fund, Super Chat $5. Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate it.
Super chat.
Wow, you guys are nice. Thank you so much. Okay, we're heating up. Look at that. I want to get my first burn on a Revo. What do you think? No. I want to be the first one to burn themselves on a Revo. Maria Webster, she is on. Hey, Maria. Ethan did this cute little thing. Okay, we're pushing plastic. We got a good purge line. Let's see if I gotta actually do a Z offset here. Maybe I gotta go down just a little bit. Okay, so let's zoom you guys in. See this thing print now. It's fun. Finally got a Revo nozzle printing. Whoops. I know. It's going to get better. Promise. I think I'm a little too low. Yeah, I was a little too low on that first layer. That's okay, as long as it prints. And my flow could be off. I need to do my step calibration, et cetera, et cetera. It is a cool looking hot end. I mean, if you just look at the whole thing right there, if I focus it again, it's just, forgive the wires. I just did a quick mashup job on managing the wires. But really, you think about that, that's pretty cool. It's very compact, very small. So we'll see how this goes. We'll let this go for about another 15, 20 minutes and see what kind of a print we get. But it's really cool looking hot end. And I've actually got an 0.8 nozzle that I can swap out and try too. But again, the whole idea with the Revo is that we can cold swap the nozzles. Yeah, I got a little blob there. I definitely have to calibrate the E-steps on this thing for sure for this new extruder. Well, let's just let a bit of this print and see what happens. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if Sanjay could see all these makers? Yeah. Yeah, the walls don't look so good right now. Infill looks fine, but those walls, yeah, I'm definitely going to do some calibration here. With just the fact that we're pushing plastic out the Revo is fine for now. I shall tune her up. Chris Mink, I don't know. You can ask Maria. She's probably asleep by now. She probably woke up to make a comment on here and fell asleep. But Maria, if you're on, that's a legitimate question. You can come down and say, hit that like button and subscribe. So let that print for a bit. So I don't know if everybody's seen this yet, but I'll show you guys the progress I'm making on my other project here. I'm sure some of you have seen it, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to show it off anyways. So I was designing in Fusion 360, the hot end model. I printed Chris's, Neri's, and I liked it, but I wanted something that was a little more accurate. So this is the final version, printed version of this hot end model. So of course we have the nozzle, the heat block, the Bowden tube that goes in, and then the coupler. So the top of this comes off like that with magnets. So we have the inside. Whoops. So basically it shows off how the Bowden tube goes down through the heat break and into the nozzle, touching the nozzle with the Bowden tube. This is the non all metal version, right? So and this thing does come off because it's held in there with a magnet. As long as I don't shake it too much, it stays in place. Okay. So this guy can just get right back on there with the magnet, as can this guy here. And the threading in this is good because the coupler will come out nice and easy. Nice tolerance, nice clearance on the thread. Okay. And then same with the nozzle. The nozzle can come out so that you can demonstrate hot tightening with the nozzle right up against the Bowden tube, etc. So I'm quite happy with that. So that's done. That is a replica of, basically that's a replica of this at 500%. Okay, so pretty much as accurate as I could get it. So that's all ready for me to put up on Cults 3D. And then right over here, if I take this camera, and I'm mad at myself on this one, but if I do this, it's going to move around a little bit. But right over there on the Prusa, that is the all metal version of the model printing, and that is the replica of the all metal. But what I did, you'll see, I forgot to put the supports in under those pieces right there and there. I'm going to see if it'll work, but I forgot to put supports in, and I knew it needed supports. But that's a 24-hour print. I don't want to stop it now because this will at least give me a chance for a dry fit. But I got to rerun it again and put the supports in there underneath those pieces there. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But that's that was just a slight oversight. Just make the whole printer already. Yeah, I can do that, Duff, for sure. So that one that's printing right now, I've actually, if I share this screen here, I've actually also decided I wanted to do a sock for it. So I'm going to try and print that blue sock out of on my rubber printer on the Atom Stack Cambrian. So yeah, there we go. So if I turn the whole model on, well, I've got all the other pieces turned off on this. Let's see, Bowden tube, heat block. I've turned all the rest of the model off. All metal heat end and all metal heat sink. think that's it. Yeah, so that's the Micro Swiss model right there that I'm currently printing, and that's going to be the sock. We're going to see. I don't know if the sock will work or if I even needed to do it, but that's what it's going to be. So that's pretty cool. So that's what I'm working on right now to finalize. I'm going to put that up on Cults 3D as well. So yeah, that's going to be cool. Okay, let's take one final quick look at what's going on here. Oh, it's just those bottom few layers. I think I just had the first layer too low because I was kind of not rushing things, but I was kind of pushing to get this done just to get a print started on this thing. So, but I think it's going to work fine. After 3 years, does the bed adjustment springs wear out? Well, depending on what springs you've got. I've got these yellow springs on here. They might. I can't imagine they'd wear out, but I think if you compress the springs after a long enough time, depending on the quality of the springs, it's possible they won't decompress to their full amount, but I can't see them wearing out because really all you're doing is holding these springs tightly compressed in place. They might not decompress to their full length again, but you should still be able to get some good adjustment out of them. But they're so inexpensive that if you're concerned that that is an issue that's happening or may happen, just keep a bunch of them around because they're cheap for the springs. I have like 50 of them. They're not that expensive. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, you have the yellow upgraded ones. They should last you a long time. It's been on this, I think it's this particular printer, or maybe it's the one I sold. They've been on there for about a year and a half. Not a problem at all. So you should be good. So Jerry, you missed it. This is the Revo Micro that's printing now on the Ender 3 V2. I got inspired by Brian Vine's video on it, so I decided, hey, let's throw the Revo Micro on the Ender 3 V2 and see how it works. So far so good. Bottom layers didn't stick really, and you know what I didn't do is I didn't clean the bed again, and I had all kinds of crap on the bed too. I did not clean my print bed before I started printing. It's a no-no. Seems your springs aren't as good as they used to be. You're always re-leveling your bed. Okay. Now, when you put them on, are you tightening them up as tight as possible? Not as tight as possible. I tighten mine up right to the brink, boom, until they're tight. I back them off 2 or 3 full turns. Then I bring my nozzle down and I adjust my end stop sensor that you saw me adjust earlier. So I get my nozzle just as close to the bed as I can with that. Then I level them so that I don't decompress those springs so much as I'm leveling. So you want them to stay as tight as possible with your bed level. Oh, no problem. I answer the best I can. I don't know everything, but I've had experience with some of these things. Yeah. So if you're always re-leveling, it's either that you're not compressing them enough to begin with, and you haven't adjusted that sensor, and you're loosening your springs to raise your bed up to hit your nozzle. And if you're doing that, you want to bring them back down, tighten them up, move your sensor so that your nozzle comes closer to your bed. You want to bring your nozzle closer to your bed versus bringing your bed closer to your nozzle to get that Z offset. And otherwise it could be bad springs. It could just be cheap bad springs and you might just want to replace them. But and PrinterPron there says, silicone spacer mod. I've not tried that. I've heard good and bad about it. So the springs are working fine for me right now, so I'm just leaving them as is. I have not yet tried the silicone. I've heard a lot of people have and have good luck with it. And then I've heard some people that don't like them and for various reasons. So yeah, that's true, Jerry. I'm learning every day. I learned today that my 8 gigabyte, I have some bad micro SD cards that I've just got to toss, and I just got to go purchase a few 8 gigabyte micro SD cards. They're not expensive. Matter of fact, they're probably only $5 or $6 a piece. Yeah, same with me, Mike. I mean, now that this is leveled for this nozzle, I can't. I can't really turn my wheels too easily, and I probably won't have to level this again for a long time. So looks like the print is looking pretty good. Let me zoom in a bit on the print now. Oh, that's as far in as I can go on the print. PETG or ABS spacers to replace the springs on some of the printers that have ABLs. Oh, okay, yeah. If you have an auto bed leveler, fine, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it couldn't hurt to replace them. I mean, they're not, as I said, they're not super expensive. Shame on me for not cleaning my bed before I started this print. Love this color filament. I'm going to do something here without making you too dizzy. I'm going to get this camera a little closer, because this little amazing little camera will zoom in extremely close if I move it, and it's got extremely good quality lens on it. Look at this. There we go. How's that for a close-up view? Look at that. Look at that gorgeous Revo go. We'll finish this cube and call it a night. Running longer than I like to keep it around 2 hours, but I had those little hiccups where I cut the wrong wire, had to solder the wire, yada yada. Wow. You know, that's a good looking print so far. Considering I didn't do any E-step adjustments, and considering I forgot to clean the bed, which I'm going to blame on that crappy looking bottom layer. So, yeah. But happy overall with the way it worked. I'm going to work on the wire management on that. Try and get it to be a little closer. But I just love how compact this hot end is. I'll try it with PETG. I'll do the nozzle swaps. I'll try playing with all that stuff. Yeah. Basically only watch his channel about printers. Oh, thanks so much, Furball Kim. I appreciate that. I don't get a lot of rewatches because, I mean, 3 hour live streams, hard for people to watch. So, but I need to start going back on some of my videos and indexing them, so people can actually look at the index and say, okay, here's where he does this, here's where he does that, and that might make more people watch just to get an idea here. But I kind of like when I make a mistake on stream as well, because people can watch and say, oh, somebody might want to put one of these on their 3V2 and say, oh, I remember DeWitt cut the wrong wires, forgot to put the 5 volt converter in. I must remember to do that. So, hey, if my mistakes can help somebody else not make a mistake, I've done my job. I'm happy with that. So, how long did it take to get the camera? Surprisingly not long. I think it was like 3 weeks or something like that. And the shipping was, I think, $2 or $3 for shipping. I think this camera, Canadian, was what did it say when I showed it the other day? 152, which is maybe $110 US. When you think about the fact that some of these little Logitech cameras cost more than that, and even that little close-up camera that you and I and a lot of us have, Jerry, cost me $80 or $90 US for the little bit of extra money for what you get for these little cameras. They're amazing. They really are. You just have to get used to the fact that they're manual focus, which I like, because the focus does not jump in and out as the focus is jumping in and out right now. But I'm doing that, actually. And that you can, with the turn of a dial it down a little bit and make it mysterious looking. Or I can dial it up a bit. So, Aha, I like that, Mike. Yes, I love that quote. That might make a good T-shirt. Oh, this is much better than the white one, in my opinion. The white one has autofocus and it has a light. I find the autofocus hunts a little bit. I still use it. So let me show you the difference actually. Since right here we have a print going, I can put it side by side just for kicks, just for shits and giggles here. Let me move a few things around on my desk. There's some spare screws and springs. Let's pull this white camera of mine in here. This is the white one now. Let's see the difference. So I'm going to switch to the other close-up camera. So I am right, and let's focus. There we go. That's focused. So that is the white close-up camera. I can turn the light on. It's kind of blowing it out there with that cooling fan duct. But then if I turn the light off, so that's the white camera. Okay, that is hovering over the heat bed. So to be that close, and then here we go. We'll switch to this other camera right there, which is not even hovering over the heat bed. It's about actually. Well, I'll show you. I have another camera I can show you with. Let me turn this one on. Get out of there. Are we on? Why does this camera do this? I have to unplug and plug the power in. This Sony. I don't think it's the camera. I think it's the plug. There you go. Okay, so I have. So if I show you now with this camera, so you see how close the white one is, okay? Okay, so that's how close the white one is, and you're getting this view right here. Okay. And then back here, if you see where that camera is, the one that I got on AliExpress, okay, it's quite a bit farther away, but that's the view you're getting on that camera because it's got that 5 to 50 millimeter lens. So personally, I like this one. Definitely. And also the camera the main camera that I'm on, in other words, in the top left of the screen, is one of those as well, but it's a shorter lens. So that's one of them as well. And it's a shorter lens and it's a fixed focus. So I sit in the same spot all the time. So I don't have to really adjust the focus on that at all. And I've got a ring light around it, which I don't need because it gives good light. And I don't really need the ring light around it either. So yeah. So that's it. And this is me. My Sony. I can turn this off now. Great little tripods too, by the way. These Manfrotto. This is a Manfrotto. Yeah. And what I like about this is if you want to adjust the angle of your camera, you just push this red button and you adjust however you want. And as soon as you let go, it locks it solidly in place. These are great little tripods for your cameras on your desk. And that's what this camera right here you're seeing is on one of those tripods. What kind of bed am I using? It's a BIQU flexible steel flexible plate. Yeah, BIQU. I kind of like their flex plates. And I can go even closer with this. There we go. And I can focus that a bit better. There we go. And if I want to mood light it, let's brighter. I can mood light it just like that. Now, if I light it up with the other light, there we go. So that's the white camera's light assisting on this one. So that's the white camera light, no white camera light. But then I can adjust the aperture on this camera to brighten it up a bit. So I don't really need the white camera light. There we go. The camera stand you can get on Amazon. Let me find a link for you. Manfrotto mini tripod. Let's go to Amazon. I think you're US, if I'm not mistaken. .com. And it's called ManFrotto. MANFR TTO mini tripod. And rate. Oh my flippin' beep goodness. I don't believe this. This ticks me off to no end. Okay. I'm going to switch screens here because there it is right there. Right there. Manfrotto Tribe 2121 on sale from 30. I don't want to tell you what I paid for that in Canada at a local store. But that's it right there. How much is that going to cost me to ship to Canada? $30. Even with the conversion, that's about $45. Oh my goodness. That's why I buy a lot of stuff off Amazon.com versus Amazon.ca. So, but that's it right there. Just Google Manfrotto mini tripod. It'll be there. And I just noticed this one. What is with this one? I think it's just a different color. Yeah, it's just a different color. It's twice the price. Oh my goodness. $21. I may have to get another one. Crap, that is ridiculous because, well, there it is there. You've got to be careful because there's the same one for 44. Right? Oh, that looks like that comes with a smartphone adapter. Okay, that comes with another piece. But $21 for this thing? So I'll show you why. If I go to Amazon.com, so just keep in mind $21. If I go to .ca, I'll send you that link again if you'd like, Jerry. If you go to Amazon.ca and do the same search, mini tripod, $38 Canadian. So 21. So it's right. So they're on sale now. So see, this is where I bought it, but I thought I paid more than $38 for it. So I could be wrong. So $21 US is about, okay, that's about right, I suppose, if I include all the exchange and everything. So, but that's gone down in price. Those are $80 in the local camera store, $80 in a camera store. So you've got to be careful. Let me find that AliExpress for you, Jerry. AliExpress.com. And I'll post the link here, but you can watch me find it. I'm going to sign into my account. There we go. And purchase. Oh, stop with this stuff, Ali. How do I get rid of you? Let's go. If I do that, it'll open this and I'll close this. My orders, and then the camera that we were looking at right now is right here. So 110 to 154. You want the lens, so it's 154 Canadian, which is not much in the US. So let me click this link, copy, and it's a Sony lens, so it's a really good lens. You can interchange the lenses, etc., etc. If we play this, it basically shows how it all works. So, yeah. So I'll do that, and I will go ahead and post that link right here for you. There's a link right there to that AliExpress we're looking at right now. So great little camera. And then the one I have, the main one that I'm looking at right now is right here. And this one was a 2.8 to 12 millimeter lens. So I would get the 5 to 50 unless you need the real wide. And then you can buy the body with no lens for 135. So the lenses aren't that expensive. But they're really, really cool cameras. No problem, Jerry. No problem at all. Let's go back to this one. They're very cool cameras. I found that out. I had to think for a while when I found out where I found out about that from, but it was on one of Richard's streams with Brian. Brian mentioned that camera just off the just as a side note. He had mentioned that camera out of the blue, and I thought I'll look it up and see. And I looked it up. I thought that's not expensive at all. When you think compared to what like these Sony A5100s cost. I mean, I didn't get this new, but these things are $500 or something. And I think these little cameras here are so good for the price. You can't really do much better. So Okay, how much longer on this cube? Oh, it's getting past my bedtime. We're only 57%. I think I'm going to call it, but I'm going to just stop it and have a look at it. Because, so let's switch here. I'm just going to back this up. We're going to stop because I gotta call it a stream. It's getting late on a Sunday. And we'll cancel. No, I want to stop that. I want to stop. Actually, I'm going to, before I should have. I was going to speed it up. I was going to crank the speed way up. Pages in French. Pages in French. Was it the AliExpress one? Okay, let me have a look. Let me copy. Oh, I can't even click on that link on my own. Oh, I know what I got to do. I've got to go to YouTube, and I've got to do them quickly. I go to YouTube, and I've got to click the link from the YouTube page. It's in French. That's strange. No, it's in English on mine. Shows English on mine. If that's what you were referring to, Jerry. Set your country. Oh, you fixed it. Okay, good. Perfect. So let's pull this. Let's turn this off. I'd say the hot end is performing perfectly well. And we'll look at this cube. Yeah, the bottom, here, if I do this. This is good for showing prints too, right here. Yeah, the bottom was butchered. I didn't clean the bed, and I didn't get it adjusted properly. But, I mean, considering I haven't tuned anything on this for the little bit that it's done, it's been pretty good. Just have to tune it up a bit. Look at that. That's my Z-seam on the back. I didn't change where the Z-seam was going to go. And there's the infill. So there we go. Look at that camera for showing off prints. And you can get even closer. Like, how close can I focus on this? If I'm this close, like, look at that. You can see all the little deficiencies in these prints when you get that close to it. So it's just that you lose your depth of field is shallow, but nice. Very cool. Anyways, woohoo! Shows English on yours. Which lens is a good close-up one on those cameras? The lens that I was just showing you. So this one that I was just showing you is the oops, wrong button. That is the 5 to 50 millimeters. So if you check out the tip, yeah, that's the 5 to 50 millimeter lens that's on this one. So yeah. And the iris 1 to 1.4. Anyways, this middle one you turn to adjust your aperture basically to make it lighter or darker. So if I put this camera back on and do that, and if I turn this middle one, oops, I can actually get even closer. Can I actually focus on this? How close can I get with this? Wow, look how close you can actually get with this thing. That is pretty cool. And then if I turn this dial, it either darkens it or it lightens it up. But you can get some pretty decent close-ups on this thing. Okay, that's that and that's that. We have half a cube done. I'm happy with that. We got the Revo. Yay, Revo! Anyways, I'm about done, guys. I am about done. We are going to call it a night. Hey, old curmudgeon, just in time for me to say goodnight. Woohoo! So, and on the index, if you note cuts, bruises, burns, or fires, you might improve rewatch counts. Ooh, hey, good idea, Dominic. And let's see, you just ordered, just ordered a few of those. Yeah, they're great little tripods, Chris. I mean, I guess the one disadvantage is they don't go too high. And like I put them up on a box if I need to get them a little higher, but you can actually narrow them up a little bit if you want to get them a little bit higher. But they are awesome little tripods. They're compact, and just I like that you don't have to unscrew something, move your head, and then tighten it. You just push this button, and it totally loosens it, and wherever you leave it, it's solid. I mean, it's great. Manfrotto makes great products, though. That's why you pay a little bit of a premium to buy the Manfrotto product. So anybody who's into photography has heard of Manfrotto. Sounds like a Harry Potter character, Manfrotto. Did you miss the Scamazon links? You did. If you scroll back up, you can find the links. They're there. The other model had extendable legs. Oh, it did. Okay, well, I may look into that too. That's interesting, but I'm definitely buying it out of the US from now on. I think those prices are so good, even after the exchange. So anyways, folks, that's it. It's a late stream for me tonight, which I don't mind, but I'm glad everybody stuck around. Thank you, all you guys who stuck around, and for everybody, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you to everybody on stream, and I will be back on the streams through the week, and I will be back next Sunday with something new, something old. Who knows? You never know what I'm going to do. So thanks all, and everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.